Did Tupac and Ice Cube have beef? Well, sorta. Let's talk about it. In the late 80s to early 90s, Tupac looked up to Ice Cube, as Ice Cube was already an OG in the game with his success with NWA, as well as his first solo album. They toured together back when Tupac was still a roadie for Digital Underground. While Tupac was trying to make a name for himself, Ice Cube thought he'd help him out by featuring on the song Last Words on Tupac's album Strictly For My Niggas. Inside album release, it did really good and blew up massively. Now with hip-hop being competitive, Ice Cube kind of felt like his throne of being the biggest West Coast rapper was kind of getting threatened. So a female rapper by the name of Yo-Yo was signed to Ice Cube. Tupac at the time was dating Yo-Yo, and he wanted her sample to be on his album Me Against the World, specifically on the song Dear Mama. Now, while Yo-Yo did say yes to the sample being on the album, Tupac had to go to Ice Cube in order to clear the sample. But Ice Cube said no and did not clear the sample for Dear Mama on the Me Against the World album. Now, Tupac felt a certain way about this, but he didn't have much time to react to it because he got put into jail a couple months later. Now, fast forward into late 1995, Suge Knight bails Tupac out of jail. Tupac goes to the West Coast. He's now signed to Death Row, and he expects the rest of the West Coast to embrace him and welcome him home. And everyone pretty much did, but the one person that didn't was Ice Cube. Every time Tupac called him, he was ignored. So Tupac thought, well, that makes sense. I'm kind of going out the entirety of the East Coast. Ice Cube has friends in the East Coast, so, maybe he doesn't want to be involved in the drama. But then the Source magazine releases an East versus West magazine cover, and guess who was on it? Ice Cube, and he was throwing up the W. Tupac felt like Ice Cube was jacking his style, that he was copying him, that he was trying to be the face of the East versus West Coast war, even though Tupac is the one who started the whole thing. That wasn't bad enough. Ice Cube released a song from his new group, the West Side Connection, and it was called Bow Down. And basically what he was saying was to all the East Coast people that they have to bow down. But in the video to Bow Down, there was a guy who looked awfully similar to Tupac. And the guy in the video was kneeling before Ice Cube and kissing his hand. Now, that was the last straw. Tupac had already destroyed Biggie's career in his opinion. He was going to lay off of Biggie, stop dissing him, and he was going to put all his attention on dissing Ice Cube. However, he didn't get a chance to do that because he died a couple months later in September 1996.